An ex-chief of staff for Larry Hogan fled rather than face a series of charges relating to fraud. Some, my understanding, most actually, occurred while he did not work. Perhaps, maybe it's all. Well, let's just look at the article. Occurred when he was not, to be clear, working for Larry Hogan. But the article's on CNN Politics. Let's have a gander. Ex-Hogan chief of staff dies after confrontation with FBI. Attorney says, "Ooh, that's not good language to use. Very passive language when talking about police killing somebody. Look, I don't like the guy. It appears that the guy himself thought he was not innocent because he fled rather than have things heard out in court. But look, the FBI killed somebody. Let's be absolutely sure that the person put themselves in a position to be killed. And let's not sugarcoat it, because it appears that the FBI killed him. But let's look at their very passively worded article. Former Maryland Governor Larry Hogan's one-time chief of staff, Roy McGrath, has died after a nationwide manhunt for him ended Monday in a confrontation with the FBI in Knoxville, Tennessee. Oof, Tennessee's having a rough go of it, according to McGrath's attorney. The FBI has confirmed that Roy succumbed to the injuries inflicted earlier in the evening. It is a tragic ending to 3 weeks of uncertainty, Attorney Joseph Murtha told CNN in a statement. I think it's important to stress that Roy never wavered about his innocence. Well, he wavered enough to flee rather than face trial. Not sugarcoat that either. William Brennan, an attorney for McGrath's wife, also confirmed McGrath died at a Tennessee hospital after a confrontation with the FBI and told CNN that his client was absolutely distraught. I don't blame her. So look, police will do that. Yes, this is the FBI, but they still police. They do that. They'll like when they send a press release, they'll phrase it exactly like that. A criminal subject died after a confrontation or following a confrontation with officers at the corner of blah, 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 blah. And they know that journalists are loath to put anything in their own words if they have an official source, certainly. And so they'll use that wishy-washy language, which doesn't quite say what happened. It doesn't quite. And that's wrong. The journalists shouldn't do that because it's an old trick used by the cops to cover up killings. To normalize them, to make them seem less like a decision of the people who are carrying guns in our name. And I'm sure, this is a GOP nutball. In the modern Republican Party, in Tennessee no less, I'm sure this guy was a wacko. Doesn't change the fact that police should not use that wording, and the press should not use the police's wording, or the FBI's wording in this case. That just removes responsibility for the death. The FBI said in a statement earlier Monday that it was reviewing an agent-involved shooting. It's no different than officer-involved shooting. Again, it washes it out, which occurred at approximately 6:30 p.m. on Monday, April 3rd, 2023. During the arrest, the subject, Roy McGrath, sustained an injury and was transported to the hospital. Well, all right, this is very interesting. So, confrontation. It sounds like this wasn't a shootout because if they would have said, or if they would have killed this guy and they had done so because they returned fire after getting shot at, I promise you, they would have, well, I don't know. I would assume, I suppose. I shouldn't promise it. I would assume that what they would do is say, he shot at us. Dude shot at us. Here's the casings. Here's the yada, yada, yada. So what happened? Was he fleeing and they wrestled around and we had a Die Hard happen? Guy's neck broke at the bottom of the stairs? I don't know. Look down just a paragraph, Jake. It appears that there is some answers here. The Bureau, the statement said, takes all shooting incidents involving our agents or task. Now, see, so it takes all shooting incidents involving our agents or task force members seriously. In accordance with FBI policy, the shooting incident is under investigation by the FBI's Inspection Division. They're still not saying that the guy shot at FBI agents. This is interesting. The Bureau did not provide any additional details on the arrest. CNN previously reported that McGrath, who served as the top aide to Hogan, a Republican, for a few months during the summer of 2020, faced charges related to an alleged scheme to bilk Maryland out of more than $276,000. McGrath pleaded not guilty to all the charges and was released on bond, the U.S. Marshal Service said in a statement last month. Okay, so stealing $276,000 is a bad thing to do. Literally. Well, what have I said? I've said literally. The goal of Republicans is to use the positions we allow them to have to thieve from the American people. Here's this guy doing a shorter version of that. Just literally doing that on its face. I think McGrath was a despicable human being. I do not believe that $276,000 is worth killing somebody over. I don't care that he was a despicable person. That ain't worth a human life. Even a garbage human life. It's not worth it. Keep the money. For God's sake. I'm not sure why they killed him, though. It doesn't sound like this is a bizarre arrest. I'm not sure what happened here. Let's keep reading. Maybe we'll get more answers. I'm going to power through the rest of this puppy. CNN previously said that an arrest warrant had been issued for him in March after he failed to appear for his scheduled trial in Baltimore. To be fair, I guess that it was a guy running from very serious charges. He could be considered dangerous, but McGrath was indicted by a federal grand jury in October 2021 on charges that he defrauded the Maryland Environmental Service, a state-operated corporation where he served as executive director. Yeah, he was the boss there before joining Hogan's office of 233, yada, yada, severance payment by falsely telling them that the governor was aware of and approved the payment, according to the Justice Department. We'll see if the governor was indeed not aware of that. The indictment also alleged that McGrath directed MES funds to an art museum for which he was a member of the board of directors, so as to avoid paying for a pledge out of his own pocket, defrauded MES to pay for a tuition expense of more than blah, 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 blah. So a bunch of fraud. I don't want to keep dunking on this guy. McGrath was initially charged with wire fraud. I mean, just if there's no point. Yeah, a bunch of wire fraud. On the state level, he faced felony theft charges, literally thieving, felony theft charges, and a violation of the state's wiretap law, the Justice Department said. The FBI had offered a $10,000 reward. Okay. I want to know what happened with this guy. Truly. We insist on certain behavior, if we insist on certain levels of decency from our police, then we insist upon it for everybody. I really want to know, despite the shadow of Trump today, I want to know, why did this guy have to die? Why was he killed? What the hell happened? We truly need answers on this. Hey, MAGA psychos. We don't get along on much, but you got to want answers here too. For once, you're right to be suspicious. FBI. He's a criminal from the GOP, so I assume you loved this guy. So he killed one of yours, the FBI. Let's get some answers. You can certainly write the FBI and ask them to release all the information they can. What investigation are they worried about spoiling at this point? Guy's dead. Not going to be a court case. How could there be? How could he defend himself? Release all the information. Investigation's over. Release it. Not enough. We need to know the exact manner of this person's death. How does a former, chief of staff, how does he wind up getting killed? Shot, it would seem, although they don't say that, but it's connect the dots there. It was a shooting incident. The guy died. Shot, presumably, by the FBI. How does that happen? Did he... Either way, we need to know. Either the FBI got overzealous, in which case, even though I don't like the guy that they got overzealous with, it doesn't change the fact that I want that behavior out of the FBI. Or this dude did take a shot at him. Or this dude came at him with a knife or some other wacky thing. We have to know about that as well. Because this guy was Larry Hogan's chief of staff. And we should be informed about who's running what in this country.